T-minus 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5. All three engines up and burning. 2, 1, 0, and...
Welcome, everybody. We are your hosts, Rockinmrmagic.
UniqDNA.
This is the original Jeek podcast.
Gang. I don't see no competition in my face. If we do, then we just move them out the way. I don't even need no money in my face. Hold on. Give me the money when I finish with the gang.
Welcome back, Jeeks. I am your host, Rockinmrmagic, and this is another episode of the original Jeek podcast. He is the man,
UniqDNA.
and we are hyped to bring you another episode here. So,
Yes, sir.
things have changed. We're having fun. Pickups to everyone in the Jeek Nation community on Facebook continue to grow. Almost at 150 members. You know, we're not going to be one of them, 80,000, probably not one of those 80,000 or 200,000 member groups. Why? Because we're unique. We're Jeeks. Not everybody can be a jock and a geek at the same time.
This is true.
We're growing, and we appreciate everyone continuing to make this group bigger, stronger, and better. Everyone who listens to the podcast, shares them. We appreciate you. We love you. Please continue to share with your friends. Please continue to comment. Please continue to rate our show so we can continue to bring you doper and better stuff.
Yes.
So, without needless ado, we are going to jump into our first topic of this evening, and that is the recent news out of the state of California impacting the world of college sports. That is the Fair Pay to Play Act. If you don't know, the California Assembly voted 73-0 for the proposed law. This act would make it illegal for California universities to revoke an athlete's scholarship or eligibility for taking money. Under said bill, schools would not pay athletes. Instead, the athletes could hire agents to seek out business deals for them.
I think it's about time.
It's for sure about time. And, the state of California needs to really give it up, because we said this, years ago on this same podcast, I might add.
Yeah.
These players need to be able to do what they want with their likeness, with their championship rings if they want to sell them. Like, this is not a hard thing to do.
No. And I mean, like, it's not like that. I think they worked it out perfectly, right? Like, we're not going to pay you, but we're also not going to touch your scholarship. And pretty much you can do whatever you want. If you want to figure out, you want to sign some deals, that's on you. Go sign your deals, make your money. Like,
right.
I think because I don't think anybody was asking for them to pay players, right? Like, but at the same time, if you're making a deal, you get a Nike deal off of my jersey number, then like, I want a piece of that.
Right.
Right. Like,
yeah.
You don't have to pay me, but if you're making millions off of it, then like, I should get something out of that, right? Because it's my number, and nobody will be buying it if it wasn't my number. So,
right.
Like, at the end of the day,
not even that's their number, but it's my picture that's on your website wearing that number, right, that's causing people to buy said jersey.
Right.
They're not calling up and saying, "Hey, can I get the that Charlie Ward jersey from FSU
number 12,
the generic number 12 from years ago?" They're not doing that.
Right.
And to me, this should be a win-win.
Yeah.
Like, the whole thing about college is supposed to be getting an education to make more money than the education you got in high school. So if it's about making more money, what's wrong with having, for those who oppose this, what's wrong with having the practical application?
Right.
You're there to learn, and you're to educate. This is on-the-job training, essentially. If it's your job to play sports and make money, you should learn about licensing your image.
Yeah.
You should learn about the fact that you need to be careful about who you do or do not work with.
Paying taxes on all that.
Paying taxes. Who you should or should not hire as an agent if you choose to do so.
Yeah.
You're from Jersey, but you go to Baylor and you establish, a name at Baylor, then you're establishing in Texas. Yeah. And a local car dealership loves you and they want to, they have you be a pitch man. So what's wrong with that? You've established your brand out there. Why shouldn't you be able to take advantage of that?
Right.
You know, this should be across the board as a nation, period. It's everyone else gets to make money off the athlete, but the athlete.
Not only that, like I was watching the LeBron James series that he produced on HBO, Student Athlete, and there was a guy on there. He lost his scholarship and basically got blacklisted because a friend of the grandparents of his friend offered to let him stay in there. They like had I guess like a summer home or whatever.
Okay.
And he offered to let him stay there for free. And the school found out, and so they took away his scholarship, basically blacklisted him from, like, he couldn't play anywhere. Even to the point, like, he was trying to play, I think it was like a rec league or something, and like the showcase, actually no, that's what it was a showcase. And they came and they told him, yeah, I mean, you have to wait till after the scouts leave before you can play, because they don't want the scouts like scouting him, because he's basically been banned from NCAA sports. Wow. Period. So it was like really, like, all because his friend was trying to help him out, because he was going from, he had the scholarship, but I guess he didn't have room and board or whatever. And so he was sleeping on couches and stuff like that. So his friend's family helped him out, and he never even met them. So it wasn't even like, you know, they were boosters or anything like that. They were just trying to help him out. He was, you know, young kid. Which is
that's insane. Crazy. That's insane, because boosters will be getting jobs for people's moms and dads, and they never go to work.
Exactly.
Like, if you don't know, colleges give jobs, quote unquote, to parents and stuff, and uncles or whoever is close in this kid's life, if they're a big recruit, all the time.
Yep.
Those people don't expect to even go to work.
And they never even show up.
They don't show up. They got a job. They're getting paid.
Yep. They're getting checks.
But they ain't going to no work.
Exactly.
Like, yo, we'll make your mom a janitor, and she'll make, you know, $50,000 a year as a janitor. I'll sweep for $50,000. You kidding me?
Right.
And I'll actually show up. Like
exactly.
It's insane.
Yeah, it's crazy
to lose a scholarship out because someone had a mitigated gall to be generous to a kid who had no place to sleep. That's.
Yeah. So I mean, I give it up for California, and I hope the rest of the world, the rest of the country, follows suit and you know, just makes this a thing. Because I mean, why not?
Why not? And to me, it's a win-win. If you go there, you license your appearance, your likeness out to the school.
Yep.
Okay. You can continue that relationship then. If you become a legend, you continue that relationship. Now it's easier to sell those jerseys with the name on the back because you have all the legal things there.
Yeah.
You don't have to go outside of the school like a Mitchell Ness or whatever to do that.
Right.
You and the school can cut out the middleman. You sell your legacy jerseys and continue to do that.
Not to mention, you get those relationships for the school, right? Like Zion, right? He's got the Nike deal,
right?
The school's gonna. I mean, Nike's gonna go to the school now. Like, hey, who else can we get? Right? Like, who else are your top players can we take? Right? And give a deal. And then, you know, as a matter of fact, we're gonna give. I mean, they do that now, but even more so. Like, look, we're going to give you all the gear you need. We're going to give you, like, all the sponsorship deals, all that stuff. Because now they don't have to play these games. Like, okay, we're giving it to the school, but we really want it to go to this one player. And, you know, all that stuff. Now it's just, like, it's out in the open. Everybody knows what's going on. And at the end of the day, I think everybody wins. The kids get a good education. They get to continue their education. You don't have kids rushing into the draft because they just want to make money.
Right.
Actually, like, now, hey, you know what? I'll finish out my 4 years. Right.
Right. Or if it's 2 or 3 years or whatever, they'll stay longer because that money need.
Because I'm making money. I'm making what I would probably be making anyway. Well, not maybe a fraction of what I'd be making anyway.
It's going to be a fraction, yeah. But let's say they're making. Let's say the average college star, regardless of sport, because of this is making let's say they're making $100K. as an average. They're not going to rush the next level.
No.
You're going to get less, of these guys who are complete, bums or burnouts getting, your bust level is going to go down because they're going to develop more. They're going to stay in these programs more.
Yeah.
You have less to worry about. The coaches should love this because that's less scandal they have to worry about avoiding. They don't have to worry about so-and-so may or may not be eligible because of right, because this Hummer disappeared out of nowhere. Oh, look, Hummer. Wow, where'd that come from? Or look, Range Rover. Wow.
And they got to give it to the mom. And
right, because it's the mom's Hummer.
Right.
Or, Louis Bullock wasn't really driving that. Right. No, he wasn't in the car with Mo Taylor and them.
No.
Like, you eliminate all of that garbage.
Yeah.
The whole Terrell Pryor nonsense and all that. That's gone.
Right. I mean, I love it. And right now, all these UCLA and all these other California schools are about to blow up with the best athletes. Because everybody's going there now.
Yeah, and then said they can fight it all they want. But if California is the only school that's doing this right now, if you're a top recruit, why would you go anywhere else outside of USC, UCLA, Cal, Stanford?
Like, I'm in there.
I'm there. It's like Cal State Fullerton? Cool. Santa Clara? Cool. Right. Let's do it. Yeah. Like,
it's a no-brainer.
Yeah. And this also, if you're a small school, you should be all over. You should be begging your AD, your board of directors, tell them, sign off on this.
Yeah.
If you are Belmont, if you're an HBCU, if you are Butler, you one of these mid-major schools that make some noise every once in a while, this should be able to say, hey, not only do we have our reputation, but now you can get yours. Come here, get a better education that you're going to get at whatever other school you're looking at, and get paid. Be the man here. You're not going to have to compete with everybody at Duke or UNC or whatever. You're going to come, you're going to be the man here.
Exactly.
You're going to establish a dynasty here. Like, this would be huge for those schools. And overall, just better. Overall, just better for college athletics.
Yeah.
And especially because people complain about, Duke's team's always loaded and North Carolina's team's always loaded and Kansas is always loaded. You'll have more disparity now.
Yep.
And people want that. They want that makes the tournament more exciting because you never know who's going to be tops.
Yeah, you're going to get schools coming out of nowhere now, for sure.
Yeah, we already had schools coming out of nowhere. Like, people were like, I remember when VCU broke out. People were like, VCU? Where's that? George Mason? Where's that? Like, you'll hear, North Talladega, East Side State comes out of nowhere. It's like, we're making a run. We're making a run.
But hey, man, I think, like I said, I don't see. I mean, of course, NCAA is going to try and figure out a way to stop it because they're going to lose. They're going to lose out on money, which I don't think they are, but they want to capitalize, right? As much as possible.
They will lose out, I guess, on some money, but not much.
I don't think they are, but I think right now they're monopolizing everything that's coming in, right? Because they're the controlling body, right? And they're the ones that are making these, ridiculous rules that, like, I can't take $10 from my friend without it being considered a booster, right? Or some other ridiculous, like,
because at McDonald's you bought that $10 really makes a difference.
Like, it really doesn't make a difference, but, like, I think that's, like, for them, that's they're the controlling body, so they're the ones that have the most to lose from this opportunity. But I mean, I think if they embrace it, they got the most to gain too, because now you open up doors for opportunities that were never there. Like you said, the local cat that just came up and, like, you know what? He's like, hey, you know what? My local car dealership, my local laundromat, my local whatever, like, businesses that would never have dumped any money into NCAA now are willing to do it because they can.
Yeah.
And it's like, hey, let's support the local guy. We're gonna give him this TV spot. We're gonna give him this whatever. give them free laundry for a year. I don't know, whatever. Right?
Exactly.
and we'll pay the advertisement to advertise on a Saturday game or something, right?
Yeah.
Where we never would have did that before because we got no stake in the game. Yeah, he's a local guy, but we can't give him anything. We can't even give him anything.
Yeah, you can't give him anything. Yeah, you literally can't give him anything.
Literally can't give him anything. You can't pay. Like, you can't pay him, and you can't even give it away for free.
Right.
Because either way, it's gonna be
a gift.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Like, that's ridiculous. Like, come on. Like, it makes no sense.
Can you imagine what this would do for the TV deals?
Yeah, it's gonna be through the roof, man.
You would have conferences people have never heard of now warranting TV time.
Yeah.
Which makes your TV deal bigger, which makes ESPNU bigger, which puts more college sports on national television, or at least on local television, outside of your local cables, channel, the channel 2 or 3 or whatever. It could actually be on a national network then, and not just here in like the Lehigh Valley playing Lehigh games on Sirius Electric or whatever. It could actually be on that. So get out that public access TV and get on actual national TV where people are actually trying to watch it.
Yeah. So like I said, I think
this would help this would help D2. This would help D3. Like every level.
Yeah. Nobody has anything to lose from this.
Yeah, this is pure gain for everybody. And to me, even though the NCAA, yes, they would lose some control, they want to keep all their control, this is a headache off your shoulder.
Okay. Yeah, because you police. I mean, the amount of work that they put into policing these guys, these athletes, right? Like, you could put so much of that effort into something else.
Yeah, and the only policing that they would really need to do is just policing as far as the betting part. Making sure that no one's shaving points or whatever, and you can focus everything on that and forget all the other stupid stuff.
And that's so easy to catch. Like, it's not hard to catch that.
It's not the 60s no more.
Yeah, like technology, especially like the advances in technology and stuff like that. Like it's so easy to catch, man. Like,
you can see if Vito, cash apped Jamar,
right. Exactly.
and they never met before.
Exactly.
I wonder why Vito in New York cash apped Jamar in Alabama. I wonder why.
I wonder, right? Like, all this stuff is so public now. It's ridiculous. I mean, even just the fact that like you can't even meet up to even discuss things like this without somebody seeing and catching it on camera, on a cell phone camera or something.
Yeah, unless you're meeting off grid somewhere in North Dakota or Montana.
And then even then, they know that you went like off.
Right, because your phone's got allow location tracking, so they know where you're going.
Right. So they're like, hey, why did you go off the grid for 3 days?
Yep.
So
a town of 200.
Yeah. I mean, like I said, I don't see any downside to this, but I mean, I'm sure NCAA will find one, which is sad. But I'm sure they're gonna find one because that's just what they do. They focus on the most ridiculous things instead of focusing on the stuff that's important.
Right.
They focus on these stupid, ridiculous rules that, I mean, they've been around forever and people have called for them to reform them, but
for years
they refuse.
Yeah, I mean, you can play college football and then play minor league baseball and get paid. And that's okay, but but your homeboys' grandparents can't let you stay at their house so that you can go to school. Like,
exactly, it's rather you be homeless.
Right. Go ahead. Sleep on some more couches. That's all right.
Yeah, that's cool.
Be malnourished while you're trying to play. That's gonna be.
And then even that, they probably find something about that, like, oh, well, you slept on this person's couch, and their parents are alumni, and
they own this bank somewhere, and that means you got compensated somehow.
Somehow you got compensated for sleeping on your friend's couch.
Right. Or their daughter was the prom queen. Or she was the homecoming queen, and like, come on.
Meanwhile, you still got all these different scandals coming out that's the stuff that they should be worrying about. But
Bill Self in Kansas just got in trouble.
Yeah,
For a whole bunch of stuff. It's like and half that stuff wouldn't even be a thing if this was nationwide. Like,
yeah. So, yeah, we'll see. We shall see. I mean, the good thing is, like they say, the saying is, as goes California, so goes the country. So, in this instance, that's a good thing.
Yeah, that's a good thing. Let's pump the brakes on the rest of that.
But I mean, that's the thing. Like all these that's where a lot of these laws come from, right? California, they start in California, like the legalizing marijuana and all that stuff.
True.
So
that's very true.
For once, this is a good law that I support out of California. So hey, I mean, if that rule of that general rule holds true, then I mean, for once, I'll actually be excited about it.
Facts. Well, speaking of excited, the original Jeek podcast is hosted by two, yes, count them, 2 Detroit Lions fans.
Hey.
So right now, we're just going to break out into a little happy dance because the Lions are undefeated. The Lions are undefeated. Hey.
A long time.
A long time.
Besides preseason.
Yes.
I remember I used to be celebrating all those years of preseason when we went undefeated in preseason and then went like 0-17.
Then we went 0-16.
0-16.
An unmitigated disaster. So yes, we are happy that our Lions are 2-0-1.
Yes.
And so if you're Eagles fan, you're a Chargers fan, yes, we're gloating a little bit. Not much, because we know we still suck. But we won.
Hey, like I said in the community, I'm sorry, not sorry. We're gonna celebrate this one all week.
Oh, shoot, we're gonna celebrate these wins all season. Come on, all season.
Especially we got the Chiefs this week. So
and watch we do some dumb stuff and beat the Chiefs.
And we beat the Chiefs, bro. I don't know. I'm like,
if we beat the Chiefs, that's the moral victory. The season's over. I don't need to know. I'm good.
I don't know. I might have to take a vacation and fly out to Detroit for the next game.
I predicted 4 wins for the Lions. We're already halfway there. So
we're more than halfway. More to go.
Well, no. The one's a tie. So if we get 4 wins,
then we're halfway there.
We're halfway there.
We're halfway there.
Yeah. So we're 3 weeks in. We're already halfway there. I'm like, okay, this works.
I'm with it. I'm actually. So it's funny because whenever people are like, "Oh, what was your team?" and you're just like, "Oh yeah, the Lions." Right? Yeah.
Then they look at you like, "Oh, poor baby, you want a hug?"
Like, the guy, this guy I just met. He just started working with us. So we were talking about football. We were talking about because this is around the whole AB controversy and stuff.
Okay.
So we're talking about football and stuff. So he goes, "Who's your team?" So I was like, "Oh, the Lions." He's like, I feel sorry for you.
That's what they all say, yeah.
And I was like, but then I was like, so who's your team? He's actually from Chicago.
Okay.
He's like, the Bears. And I'm like, I feel sorry for you. Like, you're not that far above us.
Yeah,
like,
yeah, I mean, yeah,
we're same division.
Right.
But,
you're just a little bit better than us.
Yeah, you guys are, like, it's always, usually it's the Packers and the Vikings. And then the Bears, then us. Like, so it's not like you guys are that much better than us.
I mean, yeah, they had that Super Bowl appearance against the Colts, but it's been a while since then.
Yeah, exactly.
And if we had Khalil Mack, we'd be better than they are.
Right.
Like, pump the brakes.
Like, yeah. I was like,
you're not that much better than we are. Mr. Trubisky, come on.
Right. I was like, slow down, dude. Like, yeah, so it was funny. So that was a couple weeks ago, and then I saw him. I haven't seen him because he went back to Chicago, and then he was back this week.
Okay,
so it was the first day I saw him. He was like, "Hey, your Lions, huh?" He was like, "You guys actually might." He's like, "I thought we were gonna take the division, but you guys actually might take the division." I was like, "Whoa,
well, there's a slow down,
slow down."
Have you seen Green Bay's defense? It's actually good.
I was like, most likely Green Bay's gonna take the division. I was like, well, I'll take wild card. But
and all the experts have been saying since beginning of the season that one of the wild card is likely to come out the NFC North.
Yeah, that'd be nice. That'd be nice. But one game at a time.
Yes. So that was our celebration. Just because we Lions fans desperately need things to celebrate.
We needed this, man. I was starting to give up. The last podcast, actually, we were like giving up on our team.
Yeah.
I was like, my Lions suck. My basketball team sucks. My baseball team sucks.
Yep. I mean, and me as a Detroit everything fan, all the teams suck. The Tigers, the worst team in baseball. The Pistons, yeah, they made the playoffs, but barely. And as long as we still have Reggie Jackson and the underwhelming Andre Drummond, we suck.
Yeah.
The Lions have just been trash.
Yeah.
And the Red Wings, ever since going 25 straight years to the playoffs, we've missed the past 3 seasons now.
Yeah.
We just suck. So, yeah. We're not looking good, but now we are happy. We are satisfied for the time being, so we're celebrating.
Yeah.
Deal with it. Deal with it.
Yeah.
So, moving on to the hardwood, the NBA, as it's getting closer to that time of the year again.
Less than almost left.
Yeah, we're almost in October here. The NBA rankings of top 100 players has come out. Now, every year this comes out, and I don't know if it's just me, but it gets weirder and weirder and stranger and stranger. So, you're not going to agree all the time with these rankings, but some rankings make no sense. So, skipping over some of these really, really dumb ones, one just ridiculously egregious popped out to me. Zion Williamson, the rookie who hasn't taken a dribble in a regular season game, ranked inside the top 50. And you know what? Okay.
This is crazy by itself.
Which, I understand ranking off of potential, but okay. So he's ranked currently number 42. Behind him are some names that I do not believe he's better than, particularly one Klay Thompson of the Golden State Warriors. Klay Thompson, All-NBA, second team. Klay Thompson, the 3-time champion, the 4-time All-Star, 4 or 5-time All-Star. That Klay Thompson? Zion Williamson, no jump shot.
Right. Like,
Candle needs help. Overrated Zion.
What is Klay's shooting percentage from the field?
Over 50%. Well, Klay can actually shoot, unlike Zion. Klay, come on, like.
But you know what? This is like so like you said, they get crazier every year. And I think part of it is just for the sake of controversy. I think part of it, like, is click-throughs, right? Like, you want to get your click-through rate. So, like, hey, you know what? If I come out with a legitimate list, I'm not going to get as many click-throughs as if everybody, like, the one or let's say the 10,000 people that read it first go to all their friends and they're like, "Did you see this ridiculous list?" And now I'm forwarding you I'm sending you the link, right? I mean, it's clickbait in a sense, right? So I think part of that is that
it's definitely part of that.
I think the other part of it is just this idea, and like I posted in the community of like these inflated like perception of players. So like I did there was the whole Jordan versus LeBron debate.
Yes.
Right. And then like they were like, the post was like, oh, you can read it in the community, but basically run down the post was like, don't tell me that the only excuse that MJ is better than LeBron is because he got 3 more rings. But
that's Nick. If you don't know Nick Wright's famous line, Nick Wright being the biggest LeBron lover of all time. I think he's constantly on one knee, kissing LeBron's butt. His famous line is, "Tell me how Jordan's better than LeBron without saying 6 rings."
Right.
And
so then the post had a rundown of every single thing that Jordan is still better than to this day than LeBron. And it's like people gloss over those things.
Oh, yeah. because they say he was playing against plumbers and stuff, and they weren't as good back then.
Right. And I think it's the same idea, right? Like athleticism, yeah, right? Like you said, ranking off of potential, sure. Zion has the athleticism, he's got the build, he's got potential to be the next LeBron, right?
I wouldn't say that. I wouldn't say that. I look at Zion, and you know what I see? I see Larry Johnson 2.0.
Okay, I can see that.
I see a taller, but just as broad, just as strong Larry Johnson.
I can see that.
Especially just like LJ came into college. He didn't have the jumper. He developed the jumper later. But raw power, intensity, freakish athleticism for his stockiness.
Yeah.
I look at him, I see LJ.
Yeah. So I can definitely see that. So I think that's just what it is, right? People, they these analysts or whoever comes up with these, I don't even know if they're analysts, because I feel like calling them analysts is giving them too much credit.
That is. No, because at first, like, when we would have conversations like this, I would think, okay, it's clickbait. But it can't, because there are so many people that are not us, and obviously we're fanalists, you know, obviously we're not insiders or anything like that, but they don't know the game.
Yeah.
Like, okay, so I was watching House of Hoops, which I rarely, House of Highlights or whatever, which I rarely watch.
Yeah.
It was suggested on my YouTube, and it was Jason Williams watching his own highlights. Okay, so I'm like, all right, let me check out White Chocolate watching his own stuff.
Yeah.
They've got this kid, I mean, literally his kid, sitting there with him. He's got to be 20-something years old, and he's watching with Jay Will, and Jay Will's talking about different things, and the kid has no idea. Like, the kid doesn't know the game.
He just likes the flashiness.
Yeah, Jay Will's talking about, like, he asked Jay Will a question about, like, who was your favorite player to throw oops to? And Jay Will was like, oh, I had great players to throw oops to. It would have been great to have someone like a Vince Carter, but he goes, I had Stromile Swift in Memphis. And he looks at him, and the kid's face went completely blank.
Like, ooh.
Yeah, he completely blank. And he goes, yeah, you probably don't know about Stro, but Stro could get up. I'm like, okay, Stromile Swift isn't a great name, a big name, sure. But he mentioned, I'm trying to remember now, he mentioned somebody else, a player that people should know. And the dude was like,
like what?
Just like, and then I watched another one. He was watching highlights with, it was somebody else he was watching highlights with. No, it was D Wade. And D Wade was mentioning players and this and that. And dude had no idea. Like, if you don't know, like, if you're going to have the blessing, the pleasure to sit next to NBA legends, not just NBA players, NBA legends, you have that sweet of a gig to sit with them, watch their highlights, ask them questions, and you don't know the people they played against?
Right.
You don't know who they're talking about?
Yeah, that's crazy.
I think Wade mentioned Sidney Moncrief or something like that, and dude was like, huh?
What are you doing?
What are you doing? How did you get that job? You don't know the game, and you're asking greats of the game about the game? Like, come on, man. That don't make no sense to me.
No.
And I think you got a lot of these kids who say they like basketball, who are writing these rankings and writing these stories, who don't know basketball.
No, they don't really know basketball.
They really don't know basketball.
No. They know top level, right? Like, they know the highlights. They were the kids that, they went to school and they watched ESPN Top 10 every morning while getting ready for school.
Right,
just
because they missed the end of the game.
About, right? Like, they didn't actually watch any of the games. They just, this is enough that I can go to school and I can talk to my friends and they think that I know what I'm talking about, right?
Right. Because
most of us, that's what we're going to talk about. Like us, we're going to talk about the game.
Yep.
Last night, we're probably going to bring up the highlights and that's all we really probably going to have time to talk about anyway.
Right, during homeroom before school starts. Yeah.
So it's enough that it's like, yo, you know what you're talking about. Okay, you watch the games. Okay, you in there. But reality is like
but they don't know.
Yeah, they don't really know, and that's a lot of these. I don't know, man.
I don't expect the average person to be the basketball historian I am. I don't expect them to be able to watch, tape from 20 years ago and be like, hey, that's Corey Blunt. That's Lorenzen Wright. That's Roy Tarpley. That's Wayman Tisdale. I don't expect them to know those people. Right. But if your job is to talk hoops,
yeah, you should
with hoopers. Yeah. Come on, man.
But you know what? That's the downside of like YouTube, for all its glory and the good things that come out of it, accessibility and things like that. It's like, man, as long as you got a camera and you got some sort of editing skills, you got some sort of, and you're consistent, like you get put in these amazing opportunities that really you don't. It's like having the talent to get you there and the talent to keep you there. Right? You don't need that talent to keep you there. As long as you can keep producing that good content that's gonna keep people watching. You don't need to like he doesn't really need to know, because people are just gonna watch it because they're like, oh, he got D Wade, oh, he got J Will, oh, he's got, you know what I'm saying? Like he don't need to do any of the work. He can ask the same 10 questions
pretty much
to every single player, watch the same, and just go through, edit out some highlights, and like, this is it. This is all I got to do. Sit back and just reap the rewards of, I mean, I give him credit. That's what it is, right? You got the talent to edit, and you got the talent to string together these highlights and clips and stuff like that. And you can be consistent with it. I give him credit for that, but a lot of these kids, you look at them, and not even kids, you even got grown men and women that, like, you look at them, you're like, they have no idea what they're doing, but they got 20,000 subscribers, right? Like 100,000 subscribers. They got, they got brand deals and all this other stuff. But they got full-on Patreon supporters, like, that's paying their mortgage and everything else. Like just because they know how to produce good content. Right. It has to be legit.
Yeah, I mean, I respect the hustle too, but I mean, wow. But just know, Jeek Nation followers, Jeek Nation listeners, we actually like to know what we're talking about. So when we interview people, which we have on Breaking Ring Rust, our wrestling podcast, we like to actually know what we're talking about, because we pride ourselves in not wanting to waste their time and waste your time.
Right.
So I'm going to get off my soapbox on that. Because we're now down a slight rabbit hole. I don't want to, we don't have the unfortunate time to go down the deep rabbit holes today. Whoa, wait, did you hear that? Sounds like sirens. Whoop, whoop. Yes, those are sirens. Those are police sirens. This is a new segment that we may have to do often, because it continues to be a topic. It seems like. This section is going to be called the Reboot Police. So I am Sergeant Rockinmrmagic, and this is Officer UniqDNA. And we are going to either issue tickets or give warnings on these reboot announcements. So let's start here. Officer UniqDNA. Jared Padalecki, star of Supernatural, is to star in a Walker, Texas Ranger reboot.
License and registration. That's all.
Woo! Straight to the ticket.
Driving while intoxicated.
Wow. Throwing the charges on.
Yeah. I'm throwing the book at him. And we're gonna do it on a Friday, so you gotta wait till Monday to get
wow. You're gonna make them sit in the clinic over the weekend.
Make them sit over the weekend. And the judge might be out on vacation. I'm not sure. We'll see.
Oh man, you did it on that holiday weekend too.
It might be a holiday weekend. What we got coming up? Thanksgiving, Halloween.
Yeah, Halloween, Thanksgiving. Yeah, I think Flag Day is somewhere soon or something.
Got a couple of Jewish holidays coming up.
Yeah, we got Rosh Hashanah coming up, and it's coming. Yeah.
So yeah, man. I mean, first of all, who asked for this? Nobody.
No, nobody.
Second of all, and we covered this a little bit previously. I don't even know if the man can fight. Honestly, I don't even know if the man can act.
Oh wow!
I'm
about to make the Supernatural fans really mad right now.
Well, so here's the thing: like I've only briefly glimpsed Supernatural, so I forgive me if he's an excellent actor, but the fact that that's the only thing he's done that I know of.
The only thing he's done that I know of too.
Is not really a testament to his acting skills. And for all you Supernatural fans, you know, hey, I just call it like it is.
Good thing they don't know where you are, because you're gonna have some angry women at your door.
I mean, the reality is, like, if that's the only thing you've done, then maybe you might not be a good actor. He may play that role extremely well, but that doesn't mean that he's a good actor. Right. I'm
not going to confirm nor deny that.
I mean, I'm just saying. I'm not saying he's a bad actor either. But
yeah, you don't have the sample size to judge.
Yeah, I don't have anything to go on other than Supernatural, and I've never seen it. So I mean, I shouldn't say I've never seen it. I've seen like 1 or 2 episodes.
I've seen a few episodes myself. I have not seen any indication that Jared Padalecki knows how to fight. So my fear, should this happen, is the Finn Jones in Iron Fist situation where he can't fight, he can't even pretend to fight. The choreography is trash. You know, I look at him. He obviously he's from Texas, actually, so that's cool. But I look at Jared Padalecki. He looks soft.
Yeah, I just don't get the Texas Ranger vibe from him.
Texas Rangers typically depicted
raw,
rough, grizzled dudes, men's men. You know, especially the Texas Rangers, they are, curmudgeonly. You know, you think of or even you think of more like a Tommy Lee Jones, the U.S. Marshals type thing. You know, no nonsense type. Jared Padalecki's got a baby face.
Yeah, and
there's nothing wrong with that. He's got a baby face. He uses it to his advantage. He's a pretty boy. It's all good. But Texas Ranger?
Yeah, this isn't the role for him. And I just, man. So, yeah.
So you're not only ticketing, you're giving him the DWI.
I'm giving him the DUI. Yep.
Oh, wow. All right. Next reboot that we're pulling over, I think this one crossed the center lane. Fran Drescher of the Nanny fame wants Cardi B to star in the Nanny reboot.
So if this isn't a 10-car pileup from them crossing the center lane, and the drivers actually survive, they got to go to maximum. I mean,
skipping the trial.
I'm giving them voluntary manslaughter. I'm going all out on this one. This is. I mean, come on, like. I guess I see the appeal of Cardi B being the next nanny in the sense.
Appeal doesn't, to me, this sounds like a sneak diss, because the nanny is like the most annoying
voice
so that's what I'm ever. So it's like, are you sneak dissing Cardi?
Right.
Be like, yo, you are so annoying. Only you can star in a reboot. Because that's what it says to me.
So that's like I get that same vibe from her. So I can see where that it's a backhanded compliment in a way, right? Like, hey, you're so annoying that I think you'd be great for this role, right? And you have to say you have an annoying because he does. He has an annoying high pitched voice too.
Oh my god, yeah.
So yeah, just I don't know. I don't know why we need to, why like.
And again, like, who's asking for a nanny reboot?
First of all, who asked for this? Second of all, like, I mean, like, who's gonna play Sheffield? Who's gonna play like?
Beats me.
Who's gonna be the kids? Is it gonna be like? I mean, because Cardi, listen, I respect her hustle. But she is not Fran Drescher in any way. Like she's ghetto, she's hood, she's all of those things. and so like she's not appealing to the masses.
Okay, I think what UniqDNA is trying to say is that Cardi B doesn't appeal to the socioeconomic set that would hire a nanny of Cardi B's ilk.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah.
Like, hey, hire a hood nanny. That's probably not what they're gonna do.
Yeah, like so, like is this gonna be like the black version? Or like what? Like is this gonna
now if they were going to have a show similar to The Nanny, starring Cardi B, I could see it as more of Cardi is a lower middle class woman who opens a daycare in her house,
right? Like
and has some unique hijinks with some kids.
Exactly. How do you do the? Yeah, I don't know.
But like, how did she become the nanny? Working for some rich folk. Like, I just.
And then, I mean, if you keep the same premise, right? She falls in love. They fall in love, and she becomes the stepmom, and
it becomes bringing down the house on crack.
Yeah, there's a lot of lock them up. Lock them up.
Woo! Wow. All right. So
got me my quota.
So the last car that we're pulling over, I think I clocked it hitting a 100 on the speed gun here. New Jack City reboot is in development.
So I saw this. I saw it posted. I didn't get a chance to read the details of who's gonna. I mean, either way, I think this is egregious in so many ways, right? Like, because next you're gonna. But I see potential in it only because like Paid in Full was a remake, right? And that was great. And there's been some other historically black movies from our time, our generation, the 90s and early 80s that they turned out all right, like the remakes. So this one could go either way. I give him a warning.
You're giving this one a warning. Wow.
Let him off with a warning.
Yeah, okay, well, the sergeant's going to reprimand you for that because here's the thing. You can't remake New Jack City because it ain't New Jack time no more.
That's true.
That time is over. The game ain't the same no more. And just like what they tried to do with Superfly really didn't work. Superfly wasn't terrible, but it barely works because the game ain't the same no more.
That's fair. But I mean,
and also, we're talking about a Mario Van Peebles film. I think his directorial debut, if I'm not mistaken. We're talking about Wesley Snipes, Ice-T, Chris Rock, Alan Payne.
Yeah.
Like, we're talking, who's who of black actors and hip hop artists here.
Yeah.
I think Flavor Flav's in the joint too.
Yeah.
Like, like I don't see how this works. Like who and think of the current black actors and would have to fill these roles. Well, because right now Hollywood's only pushing a handful. So is it going to be Kevin Hart? Is it going to be Idris Elba? Chadwick Boseman? Like, who's playing these roles?
That's true.
Is it going to be Daniel? I'm sorry, brother Daniel. I love your work. I can't pronounce the last name.
I hope it's not Kevin Hart. That's all I know.
No, because honestly, because this is how they'd have to boot it. So Wesley Snipes would probably have to be Chadwick Boseman.
Okay.
And Chris Rock's Boney T would be Kevin Hart.
Mm-hmm.
And Ice-T.
See, that's the thing that I don't know though, because like that was the thing with Chris Rock. Like Chris Rock had dimensions. Kevin Hart has one dimension.
But remember when New Jack City came out, Chris Rock wasn't anybody really.
No, yeah, I know, but I'm just saying, like, if that's like
I call Chris Rock. I'm sorry, I apologize. I said Chris Rock was Boney T. Chris Rock was Boney T and Boomerang. Chris Rock played Pookie in New Jack City. Let me
Yeah.
get this right.
Yeah.
That's why I went on that rant about knowing what I'm talking about.
But like that's what I'm saying. Like he could play that role. You know what I mean? Like Kevin Hart has been playing the same role since, and I don't know. Most people
In
don't
every
even remember
single
this,
movie he
but
does.
since Paper Soldiers, he's been playing.
Wow, yeah, that's true.
Right? Like he's the short, little, scrawny guy getting beat up by the big thug, and like slapstick comedy, right? Like
right. And his girlfriend picks him up,
role.
and
yeah, that's been his role since Paper Soldiers, and that was what 2001,
something like that. Yeah.
right? And then Soul Plane was the same thing, and then every single movie after that was the same thing. Even all the way up to Ride Along and even
Ride Along, yeah.
Jumanji and
Central Intelligence.
Yeah. Think Like a Man. Like there's so many. Like he's just the same dimension. Like I'm tired of it. Really, to be honest. That's why I didn't even go see the Jumanji. I still haven't watched it.
Other than the movie he did with Cranston, that's the only role I've seen. The movie he did with, where Bryan Cranston plays a dude that's dying in a wheelchair, and Kevin Hart gets hired to take care of him.
I don't remember that one.
Oh, it came out like I think maybe a year and a half ago. It's just like Brian's song.
Mm-hmm.
Let me look it up real quick.
Oh, yeah. I know what you're talking about. I can't remember the name.
But that's the only role that he's done that really differs from every other Kevin Hart film.
Yeah, but yeah. So I would, if he's in it, then I'm issuing tickets. But I feel like you could. The game has changed, but I feel like you can modernize it and still, like, you can pull it off, right? Sure, for us and for our parents and the ones kind of grew up with New Jack City, it's gonna be different. But I think you can modernize it and still capture today's audiences. And with the right casting, you'll get the older generation in there, like us and our parents.
I just think about New Jack City was about the story. Like Superfly was different because Superfly is about Superfly.
Yeah.
So even though the game has changed, it was more on the character and what the character did. Where New Jack City is about everything. It wasn't Nino Brown. It was New Jack City. It was about everybody.
It was about it's about the whole. It was about everything that was happening.
Everything that was involved. So, to me, it's easier to remake when you're focused on one character, compared to having to recreate an entire criminal ecosystem, for lack of a better term, and then tell that story on film. That seems to me like a really, really tough thing to do. Especially when you're talking about, because that's how the Shaft, because they're not remakes, they're continuations, but the new Shafts work because they're a continuation of old Shafts.
Yeah,
you're just compounding, building out. If you're gonna call it Magic City and it's a sequel to New Jack City, and it's reflecting on that could be something else, right? But they're calling it a reboot, so I'm assuming it's a recreation.
Yeah. See, the thing that I kind of hesitate with, and I'm kind of backtracking a little bit, but the thing that I do hesitate with a little bit is like that story's been done now so many times in so many different iterations.
Oh yeah,
right. Like the young up and coming become, they take over the town. I mean, we saw
we're watching it in Power right now.
Yeah, we saw it in Power. We saw it in even before then. We saw it in The Wire.
Right.
We saw it,
greatest television show ever.
Yeah, like it's been done. Right. If anything was a reboot, The Wire was a New Jack City reboot. Right. And
the Wire was it was late 90s
first season, right?
Like, it was late 90s New Jack City. Yes, exactly.
Like, I mean that like they own the project. They literally own the projects.
Yes.
In the first season, and then even that the subsequent seasons after that. So like, and then you saw the younger generation grow up and take over and all that. So like, I mean, why do we even need?
Well, think about this. We not only watched it again with The Wire, we played it. Grand Theft Auto San Andreas is West Coast New Jack City.
Yeah.
They even like have slight references to it in the game.
Yeah.
And not only have you watched it, you've played it.
Yeah.
And that was 2003? 2003, 2004?
That was yeah.
Yeah.
04.
It was like 03, 04.
Yeah.
Like you played it. Like we don't, to me, it's like we don't need this. Like,
yeah. I don't know. I'm interested to see what they're gonna do, like as far as like the script and stuff. But I still feel like it can go either way. But at the same time, I'm like, this is a story that's been done.
Scripting.
Now that we're talking about it, it's been done so many times.
It's been done so many times. And again, to me, script and casting. What's the story going to be, and who are you going to put in it?
Right. So I think if you can nail those two, right, you get a good story. Like, okay, fine. If
you can't use Michael B. Jordan because everyone's going to associate him with The Wire.
Right. But if you
can't use Idris either because he was in The Wire.
He was in The Wire too.
And you can't use Michael Williams either because he was in The Wire.
Jeez.
Half the people you would want in this movie, you can't because they were in The Wire.
Yeah. So I don't know.
Like you can't get the old people.
You can't do Denzel.
50 years old.
Right. You can't do Denzel because he did Blue Magic.
Yeah. Denzel played American Gangster. Can't use Wesley again.
No, he's too old.
He's too old. And who do you have on the rise you can pick from? Like that's the big thing. We don't have anybody on the come up you can really pick from outside of maybe Denzel's son. Was it David? I think his name is.
Mm-hmm.
He's the only really person you can really say, okay, here's an up and comer, young enough to be able to jump into a role like this.
Donald Glover, maybe,
and maybe Glover, but Shameik Moore, maybe, who played Shaolin Fantastic in the Get Up, and maybe, but again, of the young guys, I'm thinking about the Get Up and those young black actors. You can't put Jaden Smith in it because that'll just no one will want to watch it.
This is ruining it.
Just like Jaden Smith, gangster, no, like you can't put him in it. It's like who are you gonna cast in this film? Because you have to have a big cast because it's not focused on that central character. It's about everybody. You gotta have somebody to play the cop, and you can't have it be Ice-T. Not only because he was in that movie, he's the cop and everything.
Right.
Like, wait, past 20 years, Ice-T been playing the cop.
That's for you? Oh wait, no, wrong movie.
Yeah, no. Yeah, exactly. That's for you, huh? New York Undercover? What?
Oh yeah, New York
Undercover. Yeah,
that's right. Yeah, he's been playing a cop for a long
time. He's been playing a cop forever.
How you go from a gangster rapper to a cop? But anyway,
how do you drop cop killer and then almost every role you play in Hollywood, you're a cop?
Yeah, that makes no sense.
Yeah, pickups to Ice-T.
Yeah,
only in America can you do that.
I respect it though.
I respect
Ice Cube, maybe.
Cube, but Cube didn't drop. I mean, I asked the police. Okay, so but Cube's put a cop a bunch of times too.
Yeah, he has.
But not as much as T, because T do nothing.
No. He's been consistent. He got syndicated shows now.
200 episodes in or something. He's been a cop. Come on, man. Oh, there's much love to Ice-T and Ice Cube for that. Like only y'all could pull that off.
Yeah, so I don't know, man. I'll keep my warning from now. But
you will keep them okay.
I'll keep my warning.
You keep it on.
Like I said, if you can pull it off, you get a good script writer. You get a good director. You get a good black director. Like Ryan Coogler's hot right now.
Coogler's hot, but you know who you'll know who they'll handpick for it. Fuqua.
Oh yeah, yeah.
Because he's dark, he's gritty.
True. So that'd be good. I mean, I think that'd be good. You just you need a good story and you need a good cast.
The only way to me,
because we got good directors.
We got great directors. The only thing to me that would really help it is if you went completely unknown actors. If you got talented guys that no one really knows, so that the expectation on is not as high, you might have a better chance. But if you start throwing in big names, you start throwing Mahershala Ali, and you start throwing in, some of these bigger names that haven't been in The Wire, which is like 5 people. He can't be in there either. He can't be in there, and you have a shot.
Yeah,
that's when you have a shot.
Yeah, like dang man, why do Wire have to have so many seasons?
Well, Jeek, that is going to complete our topics. But before UniqDNA and myself leave, we want to let you know what's up and coming here at Jeek Nation. So coming in the upcoming months, you will get season 3 of this dope podcast, TOJP for short, the original Jeek podcast. It will be breaking season 3 to you. Season 2 of Breaking Ring Rust will also be coming to you.
Hey.
Super excited for that. I have Malaka take the hat off the lid off the hat here for you, but I'm really, really hyped on our season 3, episode 1 that we'll be recording soon for that. Great guests. I'm just super hyped for this. Now, new seasons of both podcasts will have ads as we have been growing. Costs are going up, so we working folk with families and mouths to feed. So you will start hearing ads on podcasts. For those who may want to avoid ads, we will also be launching within the next few weeks a Patreon page. For you Jeeks who love us and want to support us, you'll be able to get, obviously, ad-free access to our podcast. And you'll be supporting our day-to-day runnings of our shows. And, of course, you'll get our Jeek gratitude. But also, you'll be able to have tiers to get things like some of these recordings, seeing our visual recordings, as well as the some unedited podcasts. You'll hear some of the goofy things that get edited out when we're
director's cut.
Right, you get that director's cut. Also,
rabbit holes.
Oh my God, yes. If you want to listen to us ramble for 3 hours, you'll get to hear those rabbit holes. Also,
some of them get really good.
Some of them are really good.
Yeah,
like it's 4 hours long, so if you got a long commute or whatever, you got time to kill. But it's really good stuff. But we also want to keep you guys involved. We've had guests in the past, and so some of our tier options will allow you to appear on a Jeek Nation show of your choice, like the original Jeek podcast, Breaking Ring Rust, and our YouTube Trailer Talk review show. And so you'll be able to pick which one you get to be on. And some of our higher tiers will allow you to even do that more than one occasion. So definitely keep your eyes peeled for the Patreon page. We will be mentioning it, of course, on Facebook, as well as in the Jeek Nation community.
Yeah.
So for my man, UniqDNA, I am Rockinmrmagic. Thank you as always for rocking with us. And until next time, peace.
Yeah.